Hey everybody, give me a moment please while I get on Facebook, and we'll be getting started shortly. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to another video of the Strategic Swing Trader. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well, hope you're enjoying the weekend. We're gonna get going right away, but first is standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever I discuss today is for educational purposes only. So make sure you agree to that before proceeding with today's video. I'm in a hurry because Bitcoin is going. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, it's an amazing free ebook, honest to God, amazing free ebook. Link for that is in the description below the video. But without further ado, let's get to the charts, and here's Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is at a good buy point if you want. It's a little bit late. I was just getting started to get on the mic when it bottomed, or to do the video when it bottomed. So, but it's at a good buy point. Eventually, I think Bitcoin is still lower. Maybe it gets down to 37,000 on Bitcoin, but it's also at a really good location if you want to get some. Also Ether, I got 10 Ether, I think. Yeah, I got 10 coins. Is even more climactic, I would say, than Bitcoin, but doesn't have as good of a location, meaning bigger drop the last 4 days, but I wish it had reached the major support at around I don't know, 28,000 or 2,800 or so. It bottomed exactly at $3,000. So if you look at today's low is $3,000. That's only for those that trade cryptocurrency. And so I like the idea of picking some up. I already did, and I wanted to start the video when it was right at the bottom, but it shot up quickly. But it's still relatively close to the bottom. Again, I was thinking long term it should get to the 20 on the monthly. That's the monthly chart of Ether, monthly chart of Bitcoin. I'm thinking it should get to the 20 on the monthly. Bitcoin is about, let's say, 37,000. Ether would be about 2,300. But look, last time around also, when I was trying to pick the bottom, I was thinking it should get to the 20 on the monthly, and it never did. Okay, so you never know. So I picked some up. We'll see though. Okay, we'll see if it'll end up working out or not. I just thought I would just share that with you. But today's main topic is about the equities market. Okay, it's just that Bitcoin was going, and I thought I'd share with that, go over it quickly with you. By the way, if you find benefit in today's video and you want to help support our channel, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. If you want to reach out and have any questions for us at T3 Live, email us, info@t3live.com. Again, info@t3live.com. And if you would like to find out how you can participate in the calls that I make, in the newsletter, or if you want to join the day trading chat room, links in the description of the video, okay? But back to the charts, I have the bullish watch list. Those are swing ideas, and the bearish swing ideas for next week. This is actually the list for Monday, not even for the whole week, but I do this video only once a week. So that's the list, which was copied and pasted into the description of the video for your convenience. Let's talk about the market first. So last week I was bullish on the market because I missed this whole move up, or maybe not the entire move up, but I took time off. So that was 2 weeks ago. Last week the market was at the highs, and I will be the first to tell you I didn't see this one coming, the sell-off, but I did know it was coming as soon as I got this wide range red bar, because on the Qs, because this wide range red bar engulfed a wide range green bar. So bear with me for just a second. Let me explain what I saw and what I said in the room. Okay, so we had a buy setup on the daily chart, which was the first day of the year. Okay, that's when I actually came back from vacation. And then the very next bar was a wide range red bar on heavy volume, but none of that matters. Look what happened on the hourly chart. Okay, that's what really mattered to me. Okay, so that was the 4th, I believe. It was the 4th. So January 4th. Okay, so here's January 4th. Basically, we had a huge move up. Okay, a huge move down, that is, and then if it moved back up at the end of the day. So my call was, okay, I think we're gonna be lower here, but let's wait till January 5th, and if we take this out, then check out the hourly chart. It was already creating a big rounding top, and once we broke under the base right here, that was the confirmation. Okay, so the initial move I didn't see coming. I didn't think we were gonna be dropping. I was bullish, and then we had the drop, and then at the end of the day, thankfully, we got the move back up, which set up a line in the sand, a reference point. As soon as we broke under it, I was all out bearish, and we had a really nice drop. So if you were bearish, you benefited from it. I actually shorted Bitcoin, and I covered it already at 41,251. I did an odd number, and I put the order in the system, and I got filled, but it dropped another 1,000 almost, so I missed out a little bit. But Bitcoin trades 24/7, so oftentimes I have my orders in the system the night before, and overnight they get filled. Okay, so that was bearish. So now we're at the bottom of that base. Over here, it also looked like we were gonna break down. Okay, and what happened? We went back up and made new all-time high. At least in the SPY we did. The Qs, we didn't quite make all-time high. So we're back over here. Okay, and it looked like we were gonna break down. Back to the same area. Okay, back to exactly the same area. So if you think we're gonna be in a neutral or base, basically neutral sideways trend, perfect time to look to play long. If you think we're going to be breaking down, finally, right, we double topped on the weekly chart, and now you think we're gonna be breaking this weekly uptrend for the first time in a long time, since September of 2020. Okay, so almost a year and a half, almost. If you think we're gonna break it, then obviously buying the bottom would not be prudent. Buying the bottom wouldn't be the right thing, because if you think that we're gonna break it, I'm trying to go to daily chart, the platform is not letting me, or I'm doing something wrong, whatever. I think personally we're gonna end up breaking under the base. Okay, personally I think we're gonna end up breaking under, and then where to? Well, who knows? Initial probably area to look for would be the 200 MA on the daily chart, the red line, and then eventually probably the monthly 20 MA. Okay, so on the Qs, it's gonna be the same on the SPY. It's gonna be the same, but SPY has support, a lot of support at 426, so that will be the first area of support on the way down. But the Qs leads the SPY because it's dominated by the big tech companies. You know, the biggest 5-6 companies in the country, they're all tech, and so that's what makes up half of the Qs. So the Qs ends up most of the time leading the market, and I look at it more than I do the SPY, but you can look at both. At any rate, we talked about the market, I think, in detail. If you're neutral to long to bullish on the market, then buying the bottom of the base makes perfect sense. If you're not sure, or you think like I do that the market will eventually break down, then buying the bottom of the base is not a good idea. Okay, would not be a good idea. So I leave it up to you. I think we will end up breaking, but I thought also that we would end up breaking last time around, and we didn't. So I'm trying to go to, I don't know why it's not letting me. Okay, there it is. So here I thought we were gonna end up breaking down because we had a curling 20 MA on the daily, and the weekly was breaking under the pivot, and we didn't. We went back up. So back down to that area. I think we're gonna break, but I'm naturally a bearish person. If you're not, or if you think we're gonna be sideways, again, perfect time to buy. Onto the watch list. Onto the watch list for Monday. You can also use the watch list for the whole week, but I scan every day after the close, and so I generate a new watch list for the newsletter and for myself as well. CSCO held up pretty well. now doing a buy setup on the daily chart. So I like it long over 61.64. Stop would be under 59.90. Target 1 would be $64. Target 2, who knows? You know, is it at all-time high? Maybe not. I don't know if it is. I think it is. Yeah. Oh no, it's not. So, you know, if the market is going to be bullish, then Cisco is headed towards the all-time high, which is about $80. By the way, those that bought at the top during the year 2000 when we had the tech bubble, it's 22 years later and Cisco is still down $20 from the top. This is why you don't get married to stocks, right? Because sometimes they never recover or take forever to recover. So that's 22 years later, and it still is not at the top. Okay. All right. Back to the daily chart, and again, there's something wrong with the platform today. So what's the symbol? Cisco. But I need to switch back to the daily chart. Here it is. Got it. So that's the daily buy setup. DOGZ fell apart on Thursday, dropped a little bit on Friday. I was watching it, but I didn't pull the trigger because I didn't think that 5-minute entry was all that good, and that ended up being the bottom. So I missed out big time on the DOGZ on Friday, and now it has an hourly base breakout. Check it out. So I like it long if it takes out 364, I think 365. If it takes out 365, long stop under 324, and target would be this bar's high, which is about 450. Maybe it gets up to $5, the declining 20 on the hourly. This is purely a play off the hourly chart. Okay, so it's just an idea. The list isn't very good this week. It's just what I found. Okay, sometimes the idea, you know, sometimes when it rains, it pours. I have plenty of great ideas, and sometimes, depending on the market environment, they're not there. Ford is basing at the highs. I had Ford in last week's list. I had it on last week's list as a breakout, but I did not. It wasn't one of the ones that I decided to play in. What a mistake! I wish I had played it over the base. Okay, and it would have worked nicely. And now it still looks higher at the highs. Okay, over the highs, long stop under 23.36. Okay, on Ford. Toyota also looks good. TM, pretty bullish. Had a beautiful base breakout on the weekly. That's the weekly chart. Beautiful. Gapped up and ran up, and now has a base breakout too, just like Ford. So over the base long, stop under the pivot. These long ideas will probably not work if the market tanks, but if the market stabilizes or goes back up, they might work. Okay. So Ford, TM, pretty good. NVEI, played it as a climactic buy setup, I remember, as a day trade that day. And now has a daily buy setup. Looks okay as a swing. I don't love it, but it looks just okay. Over $64, long, if it takes out 64, stop under 60.38. Target would be 68 for target 1 and maybe $80 for target 2. On the NVEI, Oxy, and a lot of the other oil stocks like OVV, a lot of oil stocks are just really, really bullish. Now, some of them, the majority, are too far gone. They don't have any setups. But OVV, better yet, Oxy, they've been basing. So I would watch for base breakouts over 34. This has a big stop. Stop would be under 31.77. So again, more longer term plays. And PCG, I'm still watching it. I tried it once or twice. It never really worked, but it didn't fail. So it still is basing on the monthly, and I like it higher, over 1270 or so. Almost 70. I think it was 1266. So like it higher a lot. I'm watching it. I don't think it's quite ready, but I'm going to be watching it next week. Okay, PCG as a long-term play over about 1270, and stop would be under 1170. So 1164. Almost just $1. UNP and a lot of the other railroad stocks are bullish. This one okay, I think over 256.11. Stop would be under the red bar's low, which is 246.50. Okay, one can also put the stop right here under this base, but I always try to put my stop under the rising 20 on the daily chart also. This way it's harder to get stopped out. And then last but not least is the XXII, which is a daily buy setup. It triggered already on Friday over 276, but I don't think it's too late. Over 280 long, stop under 255. These plays need to trigger before one jumps into them, okay? Now, if you're a subscriber, I've already completed the newsletter. It will hit your inbox on Monday morning, an hour and a half before the open, so you see exactly what I'm looking to do. But if you'd like to take a peek now, feel free to log on to your account, to your T3 Live account. On to the bearish list. ALLK, a disclaimer, this is already an open position in the newsletter. It still looks good short, okay? But it needs to break under 819 or, yeah, 819. So I like it under 819 short, okay? ALLK. And you might be thinking, it dropped from 80 to 8. That's a 90% gap, about. You still like it short? Yes, because if it was a multi-bar drop from 80 to 8, then no, I wouldn't, because it would be overextended, oversold, right? But because it gapped, people didn't get the chance to exit. When the stock, it's like, you know, driving from East Coast to West Coast on a tank of gas, right? Or from point A to point B. You're gonna need to refill because you used it up. But what if your car was actually towed from point A to point B? What if it was flown or something? Then you don't use up fuel. Exact same thing happens in stocks. When the stock gaps, people didn't get the chance to sell it. So it's not oversold, even if it looks oversold, even if it's down a lot, it can still drop. But if the stock dropped, right, it's like being driven, then the people that want to sell it have already sold it. It would be oversold and I wouldn't short it. Does that make sense? I've never said that, you know, gave that analogy before about driving the car versus towing the car. Towing it, you don't use up any fuel. Driving it, you do. Okay. All right. BLI. Gap down on a 1, 2, 3. So short under 940, stop over 1040. If it breaks under 940 by 1040. Looks like Bitcoin and Ether are continuing up a little bit. Okay. So, you know, we'll see. I might give it all back on Bitcoin. I got some, you know, Bitcoin and Ether. I might give it all back because I don't think this is the all out bottom. Bitcoin and Ether both look lower still to me. But as I said, several months ago, last year, I don't know how long ago, maybe 6-8 months ago, when Bitcoin was crashing, I thought it had more to go, more room to drop, and it didn't. And it reversed, and I didn't get it until later. So, you know, you never know. All right, so that's why I think it's worth a shot, and I'm going to hold it, even though I'm nicely up right now. I can take some, but I don't want to take some just yet. What if this is the bottom, right? So that's why I'm willing to give it back. You know, because it might be the bottom. All right, so BLI 1, 2, 3, hot Bitcoin related 1, 2, 3, nice hourly chart. So it's an hourly based breakdown under Friday's low, stop over Thursday's high, which is 703. So 648 by 703. Now in terms of the target, I would really need to open up the daily chart to show you. Let's zoom out. The next support area is going to be about here, maybe $5, let's just say. There is some support at 575, so that would be target 1, 575, this pivot right here, target 2 right here, around $5 on the hot. MVIS, same exact idea. It looks even better. Under Friday's low, stop over Thursday's high. Okay, target on this would be the base. So notice how a lot of these meme stocks, a lot of the stocks that popped really hard during the pandemic are back all the way down, almost. I liked trading the MVS when it was low priced. I did pretty well on it, and then it got too wild for me. Notice how it moved up from like $2, in fact lower than $2, to all the way up to 25 and back down to 4, and it still looks lower all the way down to $2. Okay, so that's the MVIS. The next on the list is OSCR. OSCR, similar. So short under Friday's low, stop above also Friday's high. Okay, so it's a base breakdown on OSCR, all-time low, so there's no target. OWL, owl or blue owl or something, it's a 1 2 3 4 play, so short under 1397, stop over 1441. Okay, and target on this would be, I have no idea, down around 1250 or so on the OWL. PINNS, again, disclaimer, it's already an open position, but still looks lower. 1 second, please. Sorry about that. All right, continuing on. So PINS, I like it short if it breaks under 3160 with a stop over 3350. If it breaks under 3160 by 3350. STRO 123, exactly like the BLI. So short under Thursday's low, stop over 1050. So 990 by 1050. I don't know if this is at all-time low, probably not. So target would be the next support area. So it is already at support, or very close to support. Looks like, yeah, there's some support at $10, and then maybe target 2 down here. Okay. All right, next on the list is the VBIV, which is a base breakdown on the daily chart. I'm waiting for the daily chart to come up. Notice how the whole chart is breaking down. Okay, so under the base, basically under 206, I think this pivot right here, thought it was 206, I could be wrong, 207, and lower all the way down to $1. So the whole chart is breaking down. Okay, like it if it breaks under the space, but I would give it this 211, I think 209. I would give it to under 207. Okay, short and lower to $1. VERU is 1234, so short under Thursday's low, stop above it over 568. Okay, and then target, I have to zoom out and down to here. There's no support all the way down to the bottom of the base, which is about 450, another $1 or so to target. VGR is a base breakdown. I had a call on it for a couple of days here, but it wouldn't trigger. It went up, in fact, and then when the market collapsed, it would have triggered, but I had already canceled my order for it. But I still like it under 1094 short, stop over 1130. Okay, 1090 because it already took it out, so 1091, stop over either 1130 or 1160, up to you. And then is this at all-time low? It's not. Room with all the way down to here, all the way down to that prior pivot around $9. Okay, and last but not least is the ZM, which is a base breakdown on the daily chart. Looks pretty nice under the lows. I don't know what the lowest point is. It's 170, stop over the base. Looks okay, it looks good, like similar to the other ones that I went over. Most of the plays here are either 1 2 3 pattern on the daily chart or a base breakdown. Okay, so they're very similar. I picked a couple from those for the newsletter, so feel free to check them out. And if you'd like to subscribe, feel free to check out the links in the description. But without further ado, I hope, that's it for today. I'm gonna wrap it up. Hope you did well. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Sorry, I'm getting text messages and I'm getting a little distracted. Should have turned off my phone. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will talk to you next week. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the weekend.